fast electrostatic tweeters. I was editing yesterday and I thought, well, fast might be relative because nothing is really... If I do something, it's usually not that fast. Especially because you see me doing nothing right now and talking to you, so... I could edit everything away and it would be looking much faster. But where were we? We were at cutting the tape off. And I'm hoping this works. I have no clue. I might. I mean, I know it will cut, but I'm not sure if it's gonna stick. Then we'll see. Okay, so that's the first task. And we're just gonna stick it on. It's not rocket science at all. So the smooth side, I said soft side all the time yesterday, but smooth would be the correct naming. And let's see if this stuff adheres. Well, it will adhere, but if it adheres enough, I'm not sure. I'm not just gonna put it on, I'm gonna put it a little over the edge of the metal. I'll explain. So I'm gonna do it like this. I'll leave with like 1 millimeter. And the reason is, at these sides, it's also a good place to arc over to the other panel. So it's good to have the spacer run a little bit wider than the panel is. Let's see if this holds or does it creep. I think it creeps. So it's not perfect. So if I push it, it moves a little bit. So that sucks. For now it's okay, but because there's not much tension gonna be on this foil, but if there is, then this method would definitely not work. Because creep is annoying, so you set a certain resonance for the panel, and then over time it creeps in and your whole resonance will change. Tape, and I kind of knew it. Also always say don't use tape. I just did. So this stuff on metal would not be really later. It was hydrogen because the whole thing was and you see this here because I'm dark that's my video, right? Then we'll get the part better. So this one's on. And engage soldering iron. For a change, put water on the sponge so it doesn't look like this, so you can keep your sponge better looking, but clean enough. So let's see if they fit. Oh, that's perfectly fine. Even the holes line up. That's funny for a change. Usually they don't. So we're gonna solder some leads to there. So get your sandpaper. This is rather rough, but I don't see any. Oh well, here's some finer stuff. Some finer stuff. 120, I think. Still not fine. You can quite clearly see the difference. Quite clearly. I have a hard time showing you, but Maybe it's the light, huh? There you go. So I think it's hot, definitely. Got some random solder from Loctite. And I get some wires, and I'm gonna use some colors because black and red is something I quite often need. So why waste it on something like this? Gonna use gray, and will be orange. Good combination? I think so. Well, I'm not gonna use this whole bunch, but I might need a meter or two or something, or 1.5, because usually I make it too short and it's quite annoying. So not sure what's happening on the street, but 1. Doorbell. Yeah, was some sort of church thing or Jehovah's, I don't know. So okay, the wires. I'm not sure, they might be too thin to use the automatic stripper. I hated these things at first, but actually they're quite nice. Gonna pre-tin them a bit, and I'm gonna pre-tin this as well because it is sinking so much heat in the metal that it's hard to solder anyway. So pre-tin them. Let's see if we can get some solder on this then. Thanks. Do I need to zoom in for this? Not really interesting. Why not? Yeah. Might try flux maybe. Maybe it works better, but let's see what it does without flux. So I'm gonna heat this piece. Then I'm gonna add some solder until I get some sort of pool, and add some more. So this is working quite okay. I'm not gonna use any flux. No. The reason why it doesn't make like a nice pool is just because my iron doesn't, it's not hot enough. It doesn't have enough power to do. No. It doesn't like it. It's only 50 watts. I have this big one without, you know, the ones you buy, the big ones with the tip that I don't even know where you use it for. Those ones, and they're like 10 euros or something. Those have a little bit more heat. I think it was like 75 watts or something. Well, that will make a difference. Oh yeah, I forgot the wires. Let's attach the wires as well. Not only it is really struggling to put the heat in. So it's gonna be probably a little bit of a cold joint, as they call. But fun thing about high voltages is that they don't really care much about bad connections, so and it's not gonna be that bad. I mean, it's not just perfect, especially not perfect looking. Could be way better. Let's see if maybe if I put some more solder in there. No, little bit better. It's at least it's still shiny. This one is matte, so this might be a bad joint, but good enough for this purpose. So that's another thing done. So we got our two stators, the wires connected. Now I'm gonna put some glue on this, then stretch some mylar, something I didn't even mention as materials, which is kind of, well, pretty important. So we got our 3M30 again. It's my favorite go-to. Nice and sticky. Also, the package is so nice, it dries out in the package. Always a good thing. Sponge again. I think we need much. It's white and white, so it's hard to see. For me, it's hard to see where I went if I cover everything. So keep it in the light and look for shimmering. So you know it's better now. Okay, one. That's cool. You go away. Now let's watch paint dry. Or not. What kind of mylar shall I use? I'll get some. I think I'm gonna use 3 micron. And I'll just use something like this, I think. That's first. What color? It's the blade I used in the previous videos, except with an old blade, so it's kind of dull and doesn't, as you can see, it doesn't cut as nice. Normally this will just go, but it didn't tear. Try that with a knife. As a matter of fact, it is possible, but it's way harder. I am going to try it right now because it's too long. This piece is too long. The light is gone. Almost. It's getting dark. You see? Doesn't work. Well, it did this time. But believe me, it's not always gonna work, and then you fuck up your foil. Okay, so this is a way too big foil, of course. But that's okay. Now, this is not gonna use a jig or whatever, we're just gonna stretch it with some ordinary crappy tape. Almost. I'm gonna take this side, just like that. It's good, I know. Now the other side, I'm gonna start to do some tension on my wash. And work my way out. There's not really much tension on this one, so it's not really little. This stuff doesn't stick very well. Not that it's really, it's not even under tension or anything, it's just flat. And you can hear the tape popping off. Crap tape. Now we get our panel. Just lay it down there. And I'll use a marker. This marker. Do a quick outline. Oh. It's of course the one without glue. Nothing special, but now I know where to put the glue. So I dump this in my bucket again. And to not let it bead up, you have to use not too much in one go. So this might be too much already. Also, I put it on the outside of the drawing, which it should be here. Usually I do the other way around, but in this case that wasn't possible. Slightly over the edge. All excess stuff I'll just wipe off. So I want it to dry up like this and not like beads of glue. We can use a heat gun, that helps a lot. It's, by the way, for the hair, so it's not that hot, not like a burner. If you use 30 NF, or 30, I mean, sorry, it's not called NF anymore. I had a mail yesterday, or was the day before. I still have to answer that one, by the way. He said, he contacted 3M, I think, and he said like the 30 NF Fast Bond changed the name to Scotch Welll 30, and Fast Bond would be the old name. I don't know. I bought a can like this 4 years ago, so it's kind of weird that they still call it Fast Bond all over the place, but it does look the same indeed. But this stuff has to be transparent before you use it. So if there's like white stuff, you cannot use it yet. It won't stick. So the panel is also dry. Ah, there goes my tape. You see, it's really good tape. Maybe this was dirty, could be as well. But it's no problem, because tension is not an issue for this one. Well, just put it in the drawing, so to speak. And push. Get a normal knife this time, because we can cut alongside this edge. Usually then it won't rip. I could use the soldering iron technique right now, but I'm already done. Then we are gonna squeeze it in some more with the hands. We got ourselves a nice panel. Rip off this stuff before you put it away, because this tape will dry out and it's gonna be a bitch. So we got our one side with foil, we got one side without. Next task will be coating this stuff with a coating, maybe a coating that is bought. I'm really not looking forward to play with paint and such, because it's becoming rather messy usually. So I might go first for the... I'm going for Staticide. That's another can I have, but I can't find it, so I'm gonna find it right now. I'm gonna use a commercial thing at this moment. It's a Staticide. It should be it's translucent, that's nice, water based, blah 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 blah, humidity independent. This is really something to be aware of. Most anti-static things are not. They are tribal electric, I think. So or what is that the name? Not even sure. Well, anyhow, this one should stick there for over a longer period of time. I didn't have success with this one in the quads and such, so I'm not using it in like a full speaker bill. On this tweeter I'm pretty sure it will hold up as long as I need it, because I'm not gonna use it in a year's time anyways. But yeah. But it's the same goes for this Liquid Crystal. There are many people that did have success with this, so I really have no clue what's happening. I didn't have any success. It sucked, big time. Maybe I'm not not clean enough. It works and then suddenly it's completely fucked. Or shall I make one? God damn it, I'll make one. I'll go for the... Yeah, I'll go for the like a water-based version, and completely out of just doing it and see what resistance we get. So I made some coating off screen because well, because it didn't work out as I was hoping, or not as fast. So I shot it like a gazillion times, and I thought, well, you know, fuck it. I'm just gonna make it off screen real quick. And the reason is actually because I use blackout 13 right now, and before I used 12, and it worked way better. I have the impression that I have to use more of this than the 12. So I think this is for big tattoo pieces that are completely black, for instance, like blackout. So I think there's even some sort of filler stuff to make it like wide or big or whatever, you know. It's not only carbon. And the number 12 is for fine lines but with a high intensity of black, which is filled to the rim with carbon, or at least compared to this stuff. So it seems. So I used 15 drops of this. Not 17, sorry, 17. 2 of these. 1/3 just alcohol. And actually 2/3. And 1/3 of window cleaner for cars. The winter edition. So, let's see how this works. And be done with it. It's in this welll right now. I need a cup. All my cups are gone. I wonder why. So, all sorted screws and stuff, but I'm gonna throw them together because I need the cups. Kind of stupid. I love these bottles. These are nice. Nice for this kind of things. Sorry about the music, by the way. I might be able to... It was the film score of Young Guns 1, if you wondered. Which is rather nice. So, let's go. Here we go. I hope it will be okay. Stupid as these brushes need to be saturated to perform well. So half of it, more than half of it is still in my brush. It should dry up in a sort of rather consistent manner in the end. Looks like there's nothing here, but there is actually. So now I fucked it up. Wonder why this looks different. Ah, I think I have a clue. Looks like there is a tiny pinhole there. And the alcohol is evaporating underneath the foil, and it's condensing here. That's why it looks different. It's not cool that I have tiny pinholes in my foil to begin with. But okay, weird. Might be doing because of the reason I do this for the fourth time now, because this fucking anti-static stuff is fucking me over. This is not perfect yet either, at all. But we'll see what happens. Let's let it dry. So I measured it quickly. Between 200 and 500 megs. So rather, instead of a low resistance coating, it became quite kind of highish. But yeah, I think that's due to the fact this stuff is not as great as the number 12. Because with that one I could like lower it and dilute it more and more and more. Well, it was kind of endless. This one it conducts a lot, then a few moments later it doesn't conduct at all. So I will buy probably this carbon black tattoo ink number 12. I think it was filler or some, I don't know what it's called, but it's better. But for now this will do. Let's see how it looks. If we can get this off without tearing the mylar off, which could be a problem. If that's gonna be a problem, I'm pretty pissed. Might be a stupid idea to try new things while you make a video. Boop. There you have it. So now this other plate is gonna be sitting on top of it, and it's gonna house the connection for the high voltage to the membrane. And we got some tape for that. Some copper tape. No, this piece is fucked. Gonna rip off a piece and we're just gonna stuck it on the opposite panel. So I'll put this not exactly on the edge because it's easy to arc to the metal then. So slightly, this is visible, yeah, leave a gap there. And then normally, and that's kind of a screw up on my part, I would have extended this part of the spacings, the spacer material. And why is so I can wrap this around and stick it like there. Now if I cannot wrap it like this because it will be shorting out. So this is quite a stupid mistake, to be honest. So I'll just put some of the plastic here and then stick it on there. Well, we all make mistakes. I make them quite a lot, but might be because I don't actually think these kind of things through before I make a video. I just make a video. Now this should touch that. I'm pretty sure it will. Well, then we got ourselves a panel. Now I'm not gonna glue it in place because I might be, you know, maybe you want to disassemble it or whatever. I could have well made this, by the way, with the CNC, and then I wasn't fiddling around for ages here. But then again, well, not everyone has one, so this might be the easiest option. I probably am gonna add some plastic strips here, so I can use my favorite method of clamping stuff. The sailing clamps, or the market clamps, whatever, clamps. So now I could clamp it. I'll get the other stuff to hook it up.